Hey y'all, it's Bo Brotherton with Better Together Life. This is the last video of our rainwater harvesting series, and how convenient that we're ending this rainwater harvesting series on a nasty day. Oh, and hey, for you guys, Justin Rhodes, like Justin just did our video yesterday, so I want to welcome all of you new people. Thank y'all for joining us. This is so cool to have y'all. We're talking about rainwater harvesting, and a quick pitch to all of you Justin Rhodes fans. Next week, I'm going to be showing you how we rotate our pigs in our forested area here in Central Texas with the 2 strands of polywire method.
Oh. Come on. I know you're so hungry. Come on. Come on, pig. It's okay. Come on, pig.
Yep. Good job.
Come on, pig. Come on. He's safe. You're safe. Go. They're doing it. Yep.
You see the red dot?
Yup. Run it, babe. We're pig farmers.
Guys, I love it. It's so good, and our pigs are getting fat, and all the acorns and everything that we have in our forest. It's gonna be great. All right, let's get into the rainwater harvesting questions now. The first question is, what is the total cost for our 5,000 gallon system? I've said this in a couple of videos that our total cost for the system was $3,040. Then we also had the rebate here in Texas that I ended up getting $3,000 back. So my total cost for this entire system was $3,040. All right, so the next one is, are we using pumps? We're currently not using any pumps for this. It is all just gravity fed. Right now we're just draining the tanks down to buckets and then hauling buckets like gardening cans down to our garden, which is down over here, and using it for that. Eventually I would like to be able to get some, I just need longer hoses to be able to get the water to our animals. And then once we get that, because it is, we'll go over that question, it is a little bit of a ways, and I'll go ahead and answer that question now. Someone asked is, where in relation are our tanks compared to our garden and our animals? It's a long way away. That's the fast answer. Is we went for ease of installation for our tanks instead of perfect placement for our tanks and where to put them. So it's possible that some people could say like that it would have been better to trench like down, over, like, because our garden is right over there, and it's probably a good 100 feet away from where our house is. That we could have trenched, could have rented a trencher and trenched and laid 4-inch PVC pipe all the way down to our garden, and then put the rain tanks down there. Then it would have been a lot easier to be able to just use that and use a garden hose for the tanks. The downside to that is we are hopefully soon going to be getting a guest house office that's going to be right close to our house. And with that, we wouldn't be able to capture rainwater from that house into this, because that's something that we do want to do, is capture it over there as well. And there's just a lot of things, and also it was just nice and easy to put it close to the house in terms of installation. It's possible that I should have done that. Man, woulda, shoulda, coulda. We are not letting perfect be the enemy of good enough. But yes, it is far away. And so if we actually wanted to get pressurized water, we would have to use pumps. And so that goes back into that if we want to ever get a pressurized system out of this, we would need to get a pump. And that's not that big of a deal. We would be able to do it. Next one is, how will we connect the front gutters to our back? I think I said this a little bit in terms of the last video that we did, is we would have a gutter, which is actually right here. It's going to come down, 4-inch PVC pipe, and then hit a 90 and go, and then go down, and then go underneath our house over here, because over there is where the tanks are, and then come up. And as long as we'd have to put the pipe, so we'd have to put the 4-inch PVC pipe all the way up to the downspout. And then as long as that inlet is higher than where the tank, so if this is the inlet of where it comes out from the gutter. So the gutter runs like this, and then it comes down at the downspout right here. As long as where it comes out at the downspout, I have a 4-inch PVC pipe go all the way up. As long as that is higher than where this outlet is into the pipes, then that means that this little amount right here that goes across, I'll use it with my hat, goes across right there, water will be, it's called a wet system. Water will stay in all of this pipe, right all here. And that means that the water will come out into the tank. Does that make sense? But if the tank is higher than where the inlet is, then the water down here will never go into the tank. All right, next one. Where did we buy the tanks? We bought the tanks. I put it in the video right up here. I think like the cheapest tanks to buy. And they are NotSo brand tanks. And I got them from National Tank Outlet. And so far, I think that's the cheapest that I have found. I did, however, find them $100 cheaper at Home Depot than they were at Tractor Supply. So Tractor Supply was $1,300. Home Depot had them on sale for $1,200. I don't know if it was on sale or if that's just the price that they do. $1,200. Now, the thing that could have been better is maybe I could have gotten it from there, because Home Depot is a lot shorter of a drive to us. It's only like 45 minutes versus, you know, over 2 hours away from where I got it. And I could have rented their trailer, so you gotta, it possibly would have been better for me just to get it from Home Depot. Not cheaper in terms of overall cost, but cheaper in terms of cost, gas, and time. All right, what model is my tank? I gotta look that up. Okay, I think the model that National Tank Outlet is showing me is 40631. 40631. Keeping it rolling, keeping it rolling. Okay, is rainwater harvesting illegal? For Texas, it's not. And I don't know anything else besides Texas. And I would say that if you know that rainwater harvesting is illegal in your state, I just have to be flat out honest. I would highly consider moving out of that state. Okay, so the next question is, if we didn't have the rebate, would we have gotten the same system? I think the fast question is, yes, I think I wanted to do this. I wanted to get at least a 5,000 gallon system. I don't know when I would have done it. I really don't. So I don't know where that would have fallen on our priority list, but it would have been up there like still. I think we definitely would have tried to push the 5,000 gallon system, the same system that we have, but it probably would have been next year, 2021. Okay, this is not a question, but it is a comment. Someone said that the little rubber fitting that Pete and I called a coupler, I didn't think that was a coupler, but he said it is called a Fernco. Fernco. A Fernco. Cool. Okay, the next question is, what is your plan to keep the black tanks cool in the hot Texas summer? Very good question. Ooh, see, it's like cold. I'm not thinking of summer right now because it is freezing. We were sweating the last week, and now it's like cold here and wet. So my plan for having the tank stay as cool as possible is planting trees on the west side of the tanks and just trying to grow as fast as productive trees as we can on the west side and a little bit the southwest side of those tanks to be able to shade them as much as we can in the horrible, just the western sun, the midday, the afternoon sun here in Texas in the summer is brutal. It could kill you. It is so hot. Being able to shade that with some trees will be so great. It'll be even better if I can shade those trees in the summer and then coppice them in the winter. So like I'm thinking mulberry, I'm thinking hybrid poplar, I can coppice those, maybe willow, but some productive, and moringa, I would love to do moringa because I know you can cut that down in the winter and they will still grow back in the spring and summer. So hopefully that'll work. I know that the mulberry and I think hybrid poplar and maybe the willow, I think that would do a really good job. Not sure about moringa. The good thing is maybe the heat with the moringa tree would keep the moringa from freezing if it can absorb any kind of heat. Not sure. That's a theory that I have that hopefully that would work. Someone did say, why don't you build a greenhouse around those tanks so that you actually can harvest and retain a lot of that thermal mass heat. That's a great idea. It would be cool. I'd love it. It's on the southern facing side. It would be a really cool thing. Lower on the priority list, but really, really cool thought to be able to do. Okay, someone says, should I paint the pipes to protect the PVC pipe from UV? Absolutely. We plan on painting all of the pipes. Just have to get to that. It's on the priority list. Just need to do it. But yeah, if you paint it, then that'll help protect the PVC from degrading in the sun over time. Do we or will we need to rinse out the tanks? I think this question actually comes from someone asked, do they need to rinse the tanks before using them? I'm assuming they're wanting to do it for potable water. I do not think so. I'm not, at the same time, I'm not an expert in it. I'm sharing you my experience with my very first rainwater harvesting system. But if this was for my family, no, I would not rinse out the tanks before using them. I honestly, I would not. Also, would not be drinking this water straight from the tanks themselves. I would be running it through, for drinking water, my Berkey, or I would be purchasing some sort of reverse osmosis water filtration system. Can you explain a wet system? I try to do that in terms of the thing, as long as your inlet is higher than your outlet, then it will work. If it's dead on, you might not get that water in there. If it's higher, then definitely the water will get over into that spot. But if your inlet is lower than your outlet, it's not going to work, because this part right here, the water will never go higher than that. You'd have to pressurize it to get it up and into your tank. Bugs and mosquitoes in the system. Y'all, this was a big goof that I did not see. I just now cleaned out our first flush. The good thing is that I know that some things happened in the first flush that did not make it into the tank. The bad thing is I'm pretty sure that there are some bugs and some mosquitoes in my system. Well, there will be mosquitoes unless I get on this right now. So I need to figure out, in this dry system, I need to close off the inlet somehow so that no bugs can get access to that water. Because right now it's just that you have the outlet of our gutter and just have the 4-inch PVC pipe is just sitting up there, loosey-goosey. It works, like it's not like messed up, but there's all of this access that bugs and things can get through there, and to be able to get into, to access the first flush water, and then all they got to do is just go down to the tank, and then they're probably never coming out at that point, and to go into the tank. I do not want to create, that first tank, 2,500 gallons of a mosquito breeding pond. That's not good. I can just drop in some mosquito dunks, like little things to kill all that, and that's fine. I'm not too worried about that because I'm not drinking this. And even if I was drinking it, I think I'd just run it through the Berkey. I wouldn't be afraid to do that. But since we're not drinking, I'm definitely not just using it in the garden. But any kind of bugs, I just don't want that in my tanks. In terms of going back to the last question of, am I going to rinse my tank? Yes, that is something that I have signed on for, that every, year or so, maybe every 2 years, I'm going to have to drain the system, get in there with a big old scrub brush, and clean out those tanks. Okay, someone asked, should the tanks be underground, or why did I not put the tanks underground? One, for gravity, because if they're underground, you can't use a gravity-fed system, so you'd have to use some sort of pump. Also, I guess if you live far north, you might need to do something like that. Also, we just have a lot of space for what we have. 7 acres is a lot of space for us right now. It's kicking our butt trying to even, manage just the 1 little acre that we have cleared here for our little home site. So we have a lot of space. I'm not too worried about it. I think that they look cool. Some people say that they don't look good. I think that they look cool. I like going out onto our back porch and seeing them. So, and also to put these tanks underground. These are huge, man. You'd have to get an excavator, and then you'd have to hire someone to like level it out. Like to me, that's just insane. Putting them underground before I posted the videos and saw this question, it never crossed my mind that would ever be something that we would have done. But if you're up north, maybe you have to do that. I don't know, because maybe it would freeze. Okay, the last one is, it's getting cold. Last one is, do I have any books on rainwater harvesting? Yes, I love Brad Lancaster's series, Rainwater Harvesting for Dry Lands and Beyond. I'll put the links down there. They are Amazon affiliate links, so just let you know we get a little bit if you check those out. Okay, I'm just going to wrap this up, y'all. I hope that everybody is safe and that you prepped up for the cerveza time of what's going on in our world right now. I don't want to make light of it. It's just, this is crazy. I try to make, my personality is I make jokes whenever things are uncomfortable and like hard. And this is a insane thing that we're going through. And my family is so much more confident in our homestead, in our self-sufficiency, our survivalism, whatever you want to call it, because we have rainwater harvested. Both of my tanks are probably about at least 1,000 gallons full right now. So that means that I have 2,000 gallons right now. Well, plus this IBC tank. So I have like at least 2,300 gallons of rainwater stored up. And that's rainwater stored up for drinking water, for cooking, for showering. If we ever needed to haul buckets inside, we could do that. Not to say that the world is ending and that our water supply is getting cut off, because we have municipal water and that's not messing up at all. Or if you have a well, then that's really good too if you have a well. You just never know. And so that leads to, I want to give you a little heads up that on Tuesday we're going to be doing a special video, going to be a collaboration. We're going to be talking about how we make our own sourdough bread. So we make our sourdough bread from scratch. It is 3 ingredients, y'all. It is flour, salt, and water. We are able to provide healthy, fermented, nutrient-dense food of sourdough bread to our family. And all we have to do is store up flour and salt. So whenever the stores are empty, there's no bread. You can't buy bread in the store right now. You can't buy eggs in the stores right now. And we have eggs from our chickens, and we had the forethought to store up flour, our organic flour, store that up so that we could survive here for at least 6 weeks, and we would have bread and sourdough and all the other things that we stored up. And we have water if, for some reason, our municipal water company couldn't go to work or something, I don't know, that the water got turned off, we would have the rainwater as backup. So if you weren't prepared before this hit, I hope that these times are encouraging you and just that kick in the butt to be able to, once Costco starts having stuff again, and once the grocery stores start having food again, that you would take it seriously, that you need to store up. So I will see y'all Tuesday when Kelly and I are doing our special video on sourdough bread. Collaboration with the Homesteaders of America conference. We're super glad to be a part of that. We'll see you Tuesday. Bye.